In a city full of secrets, Geet and Man are bound by a lie they both agreed to live. But what happens when care begins to feel like love, and pretending starts to hurt? Welcome back to chapter 31 of Pretend, where every heartbeat questions what's real and what's just an act. This is the Velvet story. Let the emotions unfold. Geet took him to the hospital as soon as they could manage to drive on the slippery road. Dr. Andrew, he fainted last night due to the cold, and he still has a fever, she said, worry evident in her voice. It happens during a sudden change in weather conditions, Dr. Andrew explained calmly. Andrew checked him thoroughly and found it was just a result of the cold. He has a minor fever, he confirmed. I'm fine, Dr. Andrew, Man said, trying to dismiss the concern. But still, you need to take rest and keep taking the prescribed pills, Andrew advised firmly. Andrew, I'm not a kid who needs all these things, Man grumbled. You behave like a kid. Man, Geet quipped, rolling her eyes. Andrew laughed at their banter. Your girlfriend is right, he said playfully. My wife, Dr. Andrew, Man corrected him without hesitation. Geet wasn't shocked at being called his girlfriend, but Man's clarification made her nervous. Her face changed colors, betraying her emotions. Fine, I'll take care of him. Thank you, Dr. Andrew, she said quickly, eager to leave. Geet, don't rush. Think about your poor hubby who needs your support, Man teased, trying to lighten the mood. I remember, you called yourself fit and fine, didn't you? Geet shot back, not turning to look at him. Why are you mad now? Man asked, confused by her sudden change in mood. Geet didn't stop walking. She moved away as fast as possible. She had to end all this. If it continued like this, she would start to depend on him, on his help, his care. And what about Abhi? She was lying to herself. Man was making a place in her heart. She was scared of that. Maybe he was doing all this out of humanity, responsibility, or just friendship. But her heart had begun to feel something deeper, something she had longed for. To be loved. No, she couldn't let her heart be hurt again. The images of the morning, the moments they shared, only added to her stress. Rocky, bring these medicines from the store. Then we'll leave, Geet instructed. Okay, Mom, Rocky nodded. What happened, Geet? Man asked, approaching her quietly. Man, why are you here in New York? Geet asked directly, without any build-up. I had some work here, he replied honestly. Is your work done? Yes. Geet, tell me what happened to you suddenly? You want to know? Then listen. She took a deep breath, forcing herself to look into his eyes. Please stop doing all this. What should I stop? He asked, confused and a bit hurt. Stop calling me your wife when we both know this is fake. And please stay away from Abhi. Please, stop helping us. I'm already so obliged to you, I can't afford to be any more. Man was stunned by her words. She had been fine just a while ago, so what happened so suddenly? She took their care as an obligation. He didn't know how to handle this. He called her wife because she is his, at least in his heart. His heart knew what he felt, but how was he supposed to say that? Mom, Rocky said. Yes? Geet came out of her thoughts, but she didn't look at Man. She knew he was watching her, searching her face for answers. Medicine, Rocky said, handing it over. Thank you, Rocky, she said softly. He nodded. Shall we go, Mom? Yes, Rocky. Geet sat in the car, and Man followed, sitting beside her. Silence fell around them like a thick fog. Both were lost in their own thoughts, hurting. Mom, we've reached, Rocky said after a while. Geet responded, not quite present. Rocky, drop me at the hotel, Man said quietly. But, you're still not fine, Geet said, surprise. Stop caring about me, Geet, Man replied coldly, the pain in his voice masked by a bitter tone. Here's your medicine. Take it on time, Geet said, handing it over without emotion. Man took it without arguing. He didn't want to make a scene. Not here, not now. They parted without much fuss. But the silence between them screamed louder than words ever could. Geet was hurt, not because of his rude reply, but because she knew he had done so much for them. And what had she done in return? Out of her own fear, she let him go. When he needed someone, she turned away. Geet told Rosie to take care of Abhi and to call her if anything came up. She said she had some work to complete. She hired a cab and left for her destination, her heart still in chaos. Scene shift. Man was pacing back and forth in his hotel room. He had only ordered some bottled water, untouched on the table. He was angry, but did he even have the right to be? Why did he go there when Geet had clearly mentioned her problems? Why didn't he just tell her that he cared for them, that he cared for her? But who were they really to each other? Not even friends, his mind reminded him bitterly. She didn't need to feel obligated for his care. They were just a temporary part of the Khurana household, for now. Just for now. What did you do this morning? His mind kept repeating. I was just teasing her, his heart replied. Since when does your teasing hurt someone, man? Geet had been there last night, helping him selflessly. And what did he do? He hurt her today. He had seen the pain in her eyes when she said, "Stay away from us." How could he forget what she told him about her past? About being pretended, again. A knock broke through his storming thoughts. Keep it on the table, he said without looking. I'm sorry, a familiar voice said. Man's heart skipped a beat. He turned, shocked to see her there. What are you doing here? He asked, stunned. I shouldn't have treated you that way, Geet said, her voice trembling. You helped me so much and I just snapped at you because of, she stopped herself. Because of? He pressed gently. Man, I'm not going to beat around the bush, she said, eyes meeting his. So let me come straight to the point. She is always direct, Man thought, watching her determined face. Just then, they heard a knock on the door. Come in, Man said. A bellboy entered, placed the water bottle on the table, and quietly left the room. Geet turned back to Man, her voice steady but her heart trembling. Man, Abhinav is small, and I don't want Abhi to get attached to you, or to any of your family. It's just a matter of 1 month, and after that, our paths will separate. He'll face problems. I will too, she said, her voice low. But that was only half the truth. She knew she had feelings for Man. And she didn't want his closeness to break her heart all over again. It was easier, safer, to live like strangers. That way, no one would get hurt. Man felt a pang deep in his chest. She was already calculating the time. Just 1 month. Is she serious? He wondered. We're enjoying our life together, aren't we? He didn't say anything, and Geet, sensing no reply, let the moment pass. First, take your medicine, she said softly. Why do you care? Man asked, his voice laced with emotion. Because you're suffering. Because of me, she answered, guilt evident in her eyes. You are not at fault. Man said, gently. Man, I know I'm the worst person when it comes to showing care, but don't punish yourself because of me. Please, take the medicine first. Man wanted to refuse. His pride told him to. But he didn't say a single word. They had been so happy just that morning. Now, everything was gloomy and distant. Geet made him gulp all his medicines and took care of his needs with silent concern. You don't have to do this, Man said, surprised as he watched her ordering his lunch, boiled food only. Once I'm sure you're fine, I'll go, she replied without looking at him. She was doing all of this to return an obligation. That's what it felt like. And Man didn't know how to change the atmosphere back to what it was. Geet, I know what our relationship is, he said carefully. Geet narrowed her eyes at his choice of words. I mean, we have only 1 month. So, why don't we become good friends? That way, when we part ways, we'll at least have good memories, Man said with a sad smile. Even though just the thought of separation made his heart ache, he knew they couldn't stay together forever. He always believed he wanted freedom, but now, for the first time, he wished that this moment, this closeness, could last. Man, I'm not a good friend, was all she said, quietly. Man noticed how Geet was strangely avoiding him. Why was she behaving this way? Why was she so distant? She was doing her duty, but that was all. Geet, you can go now. I'm fine, Maan said, breaking the silence. She checked his forehead. His fever was gone. He was better. Take care, Geet said and turned to leave. But just as she reached the door, he held her wrist. Geet froze. She had been holding herself together, and now he was making things even harder. Maan, she whispered, trying to pull her hand away from his grip. Why are you running from me, Geet? I'm not running, Maan, she said quickly. Yes, you are. What happened? You were fine this morning. And now suddenly you're so distant. Why? Nothing happened, Maan. Fine. Don't tell me, he snapped, hurt flashing in his eyes. Leave my hand now, Geet said as she twisted her wrist, trying to free herself. Why didn't you answer my first question, Geet? Why did you even help me? Maan asked, his voice husky and low, so intense it scared her. Why couldn't he just let her go? Why was he making it so hard? She remained quiet, her priority now only to break free from his clutch. Whatever I did was just for humanity's sake, she said, trying to convince both him and herself. Oh really, Geet? For humanity's sake, you sleep with any guy? Maan said, his voice sharp and his eyes unreadable. She glared at him instantly, fire rising in her veins. Whether I sleep with guys or not is none of your business. She stepped back. Why were you sitting on the bench that day, Maan? She suddenly asked, changing the topic. I was enjoying the snowfall, he said casually. Oh really? She smirked. I thought your girlfriend didn't let you enter her house. Actually, Geet, Maan replied with a smirk of his own, my wife threw me out. Even my girlfriend asked me to join her, but I'm a loyal husband, so I ignored her. Loyal husband, Maan? Geet repeated mockingly, her voice holding another meaning altogether. She turned and left him standing there. Maan stared at the door she just walked through. He didn't understand her behavior anymore. She was like a magician, changing from one moment to another. One moment, she was caring and vulnerable. The next, she was distant and guarded. And Maan stood there, caught between trying to figure her out, and slowly, unknowingly, falling deeper for her. Heartbreak as walls rise and truths slip through the cracks, Geet and Maan find themselves tangled in feelings they can no longer ignore. Is it duty, or desire? If this chapter touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more emotional chapters every week. Stay with us on the Velvet Story, where every love has a secret, and every secret has a price.